right, how you doing today? All right, so we're gonna do this as a marathon. If you have just watched the Rule of Thirds video, great. Welcome to the rollover. We're gonna do symmetry next, and if you haven't watched the Rule of Thirds video, go check that out too, because I think that's a fun video. It's not that much fun. There are a lot of other Rule of Thirds videos on YouTube. I just wanted to have one that I would be able to send my students to so that they and you and whoever get a good view of it from what I understand of it and my point of view. Other YouTubers have made some really fancy videos of it. I'm just using OBS to show you my keynote. So speaking of show you my keynote, let me show you my keynote. All right. Today we're going to be talking about symmetry. Symmetry is a thing where sides of something are going to match, right? So let's take a look. This is a bridge. I like this. I enjoyed taking pictures this day. Beautiful sky, couple of clouds, and this big bridge in the middle of nowhere. I think I took this in January. I can't remember. But so the symmetry here is left-right symmetry, right? It's bilateral symmetry. So the image, the left half of the image and the right half of the image, both are the same. This is my favorite picture. All right, humans are attracted to symmetry. So there's something about symmetry, something about that sameness on particularly left and right or top bottom that really draws people's attention to it. So the thing about this, there's just a little bit of asymmetry, right? Because I got those two lights right there. But the symmetry for the main idea on the photograph is left, right. It's basically symmetrical. And so that when you're doing a portrait picture, sometimes you want symmetry in the portrait picture. Sometimes you want asymmetry in the portrait picture. Depends on what you're trying to show. Now, ideally for a perfectly symmetrical picture, I would have the same amount of light coming out of the hood, coming back from behind the hood on both sides of this. But, you know, I was experimenting and I thought this one turned out really good. Literally, it's my favorite picture. All right. But remember, just like the Rule of Thirds, symmetry is a place to start. And what I want to encourage this semester and for everybody who's not in my class, this season's a great season to get out and start taking some pictures. You can do it by yourself. You can stay away from people. And, you know, everything with the virus and stuff, you can keep your face mask on and everything's going to work out great. So it's a place to start. And again, symmetry works. And when you choose to do symmetry or when you choose to take a symmetrical shot, it works great. And when you choose to break the symmetry just a little bit, that works even better. And that's partially why this should come with the Rule of Thirds, right? So the Rule of Thirds is an asymmetrical approach to taking pictures. It allows you to place the subject in the world, and symmetry allows you to really focus deeply on that subject. And that left and right will make everything a little bit more interesting. So speaking of left and right, if the black frame is over here, this black frame is where your photo is, right? Then you have a symmetry here, and you have a symmetry here. So these are both bilateral versions of symmetry. The last picture I'm going to show you is going to show you a different kind of symmetry. And a kaleidoscope where you look through and the lights and the way the mirrors in the... Whoa, hi. We're leaving that in. The way the mirrors in the kaleidoscope work show you a even different kind of symmetry with that. But there is symmetry in the kaleidoscope, and that's one of the reasons it becomes an interesting toy. So most of the time, people are going to use bilateral symmetry, left and right or top and bottom for a reflection. Hold on just a second. Yay. That's all right. It's a long video. It'll work. So you can also have trilateral symmetry or even more. So if you have something like a hexagon, it can have 5 things. And so most of the time, what you're going to run into is bilateral symmetry, something on the left and something on the right. If you're doing a picture with a reflection, that's probably going to be top and bottom, but it could be left and right. So it's an interesting thing to do. It's something you don't necessarily always see in nature. So when you get a chance to take a picture of it, you should. So this is mine, one of my pictures that I took I don't know, last spring, I guess it was. This is a Japanese mailbox. For the most part, at first blush, it's primarily symmetrical. Boy, you can't see that in there, can you? All right. So this is bilaterally symmetrical, left and right, even though my line isn't very straight because I'm drawing freehand. So it's basically left and right. There's a little touch of asymmetry down here in the corner, but don't worry about that. And there's a little break in symmetry over on the edges because they're not worn exactly evenly, but that makes things more interesting. So, but the first thing you think of when you see it is, wow, boom, left and right. That's symmetrical. That's cool, right? Okay, you might not think that's cool, but I think that's cool. I love taking pictures of mailboxes in Japan. It's fun. All right. This little fidget spinner is trilaterally symmetrical. So we have and this angle isn't the greatest, but we have a radius here, we have a radius here, and we have a radius here. So this is trilateral because we got 1, 2, and 3. So each of these sections are symmetrical, and they're fun. So it doesn't have to be bilaterally symmetrical. It can be trilaterally symmetrical, or whatever any of the other words for more than 3 are. Yeah. All right. So, but that's the idea. So now for this one, because it's not symmetrical top to bottom, is a different kind of problem, right? But it could be. So if you're taking, like the ones that I usually see are reflections in a lake or on the ocean, where you're taking the picture of the ocean and then you see the sun in the sky and the sun is reflected into the water. Something like that could be bilaterally symmetrical, or similar, but top and bottom rather than based on the center or center line, something like that. So it's interesting. Get out and try to take some pictures using Symmetry, and it doesn't have to be fancy. It can be doesn't have to be fancy. Just have to try it, just to try to get your head around it. And see my little Santa and my snowman back there. Anyway, so y'all have a great day, and I will talk to you soon.